Everything should be good to go. And hey, everybody, thanks for joining us for our first stream here on Facebook Live. My name's Brandy Camel. I'm one of your community managers for the Diablo team. And on my left here, Mr. Joe Shelley, one of our senior game designers.
Yes. Hi, everyone.
And I just want to take a moment. Thank you for joining us today, Joe. I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to hang out and answer some questions.
Of course.
So
any time between working on Necro.
Yep. Yeah, there's tons of stuff to be doing there. So, all right. Without further ado, we've gone ahead and gathered a whole bunch of questions from our community and from a variety of different places. We took some straight off of Facebook. We took some from our forums, from Twitter. So we've kind of gathered a bunch, and we've also took some international questions. So you'll see a whole bunch of stuff from all over the place, and we tried to get a little bit of everything. So hopefully we'll hit on most of the points that you guys were looking to hear from us today. So. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get to our first question. This one comes from Ghost Poss. Can you explain more in depth how the move to 64-bit will enhance our experience?
Yeah, so this is going to be great for players. We're going to see shorter load times, and we're moving to DirectX 11.
Awesome.
So you'll see some few graphical improvements, things like normal maps on some ground textures, things like that.
Awesome. And this is coming in 2.4.3, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you haven't tried out the 64-bit client, it is on the PTR right now. So go ahead and give that a try. It's a really nice, smooth experience. So let's see. Our next question comes from Supreme. Are you happy with the current Paragon system, or do you think it needs to be reworked?
Yeah, so the Paragon system is an alternate progression track, right? Like you can get items to increase your character power in Diablo. You can upgrade legendary gems. You can do cul-de-sacs. There are a bunch of different tracks. Of course, you can level up from 1 to 70 at the very start of the game. Right. The Paragon system allows a very broad portion of our audience to continue to get character power and always feel like when they log in and play for a while and log out, they've made some progress. And that's something that's really important to us. Now, for your ultra competitive players who want to, see like an even playing field and want to really push the limits there, we're really excited about the addition of challenge rifts in a future patch. They're going to have their own leaderboards, and you're going to be able to compete against your friends and compete against other people in the region. With everyone starts with the same character and same powers, and just straight up who can get the lowest time.
Yeah, and this is a feature we talked about briefly at BlizzCon. So.
We did, yeah. We announced it at BlizzCon. We're pretty excited about it. It's really coming along nicely.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to diving in there. I know the chicken playtest was like crazy awesome on the team. So.
Yeah, we had we've had a series of playtests where we test with different builds, and of course the builds for challenge rifts are going to come from the players themselves. Right. So actual players who have actually done a rift, you're going to be challenged to beat their time, and you'll be rewarded with some bounty materials, crafting materials, those kinds of things. We're going to get a big pile of those just for beating the player's time, and then beyond that, you can compete to see with your friends on the leaderboards and with your region, like I was saying. Yeah.
Awesome. I can't wait for that. That'll be great. So our next question comes from Spawn. Do we have plans to rework Barbarians' Wrath of the Way set? So we do have some changes already on PTR for this, right?
Yeah, so we've done a couple of passes on this set. The intention, just to be clear from the start, is to increase the power of the Wrath of the Way set.
Right.
And we've made some additional changes that are going to be going out on PTR soon, I believe. That will help us get to that goal. Right. In 2.4.3, we've actually taken a look at some of the sets that weren't performing as well, where we felt like we could make strategic changes to bring them up and get a little bit more play diversity across all the classes. You've got Rolands, Marauders, Innas, Air Cures, Delsiers, and of course Wrath of the Waste.
Right.
So with Wrath of the Waste specifically, a big part of the gameplay is this concept of throwing tornadoes at the monsters, and we think that there's some interesting gameplay there. We don't want the tornadoes to be completely meaningless, and we've actually done some gameplay optimizations to Whirlwind and to the tornadoes to make sure that they can perform, perform well performance-wise, so that there's no concerns there. But we think that the balance prior to 243 too heavily favored the tornadoes. So we're shooting for more of like a 60% of your damage comes from Whirlwind, and maybe about 40% comes from your actual tornadoes. So that's what you'll see in 243 as we sort of hone in on that balance.
Very cool. So let's move to our next question. This one is about the Necromancer. At BlizzCon, we mentioned that the Necromancer themes are about reanimation, blood, and bone, but what about poison? I was in love with my Poison Novas and Poison Dagger back in the D2 days. Thanks for the question, Gensaru.
Yeah, so the Necromancer, we're very much in the middle of developing all of his skills and sort of exploring out these themes that we talked about at BlizzCon, and we found that the blood theme and the sort of theme of decay is really strong. We're able to really build a lot of really interesting gameplay around these themes. So poison hasn't come into it as much. You may see a rune here that potentially there, but the Witch Doctor is also a heavily poison themed class, and we do want to we want to push those two classes
a little further apart, right?
Exactly.
Make sure that they stand on their own. They have their own themes, and
the Necro. The Necro is totally different from the Witch Doctor.
Right.
He has his mechanics are very different, but even that said, we want to make sure that we're really playing up the strongest themes with him, which are those
blood,
four.
Bone, yeah. Excellent. So our next one is an anonymously submitted question, and this one is, will the PS4 and Xbox One players be getting the anniversary patch and event at the same time as PC and Mac players?
Yes, they will.
Yeah.
Our console players are first-class citizens, and remember, of course, that we're also bringing seasons to
consoles, yeah.
In a future patch this year. So we're really excited about that. We're building it for console so that the console experience is organic and feels like it was developed for console from the ground up, just like we did with the game itself.
Awesome. So that'll be coming very shortly. Let's see, our next question comes from Edu, and he asks, Saffron Wrap. Most legendaries need synergies with sets to be worth using. Are there any plans on incorporating Overpower to a set?
Yeah, so we've talked about this. We even talked about adding it to Wrath of the Wastes. Where we ended up with Wrath of the Wastes is we wanted to focus on the whirlwind.
Whirlwind, right? The whirlwind and the rend.
Apparently they're werewolves. No, we wanted to focus on the whirlwind and rend element on that, and really address the tornado issue there, like I alluded to earlier. And Saffron Wrap we think is very cool. We think it's very interesting. So we're going to see how it plays out and what kinds of uses it gets put to once it goes live, and then we'll reevaluate it from there.
Awesome. So go ahead and equip those Saffron Wraps and start experimenting. Let us know how it feels and what you like about it. All right, our next question comes from Brandu. Group play is more rewarding than solo play. Could something be done to reduce the disparity between the two?
Yeah. So this is something that we are looking at very carefully. We would like to make some changes here to make the solo play experience more fun when you're doing bounties. And we're working right now on exactly what the changes, what changes we can make to accomplish that are.
We always kind of go through different like iterations and experiments and figure out what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah, but it's absolutely something that's on our radar.
For sure. Let's see. Our next question comes from Horax, and he asks, "Do we have plans to rework the Akkhan set?"
Yeah, so we added a 7th piece to Akkhan's in 243 to the next slot, or the amulet slot. And of course, that's a contested slot. There are other things that you might want to put there. But we're really interested to see what kinds of new builds players can make with this extra flexibility that's added there, and we're gonna, see where it goes from there.
Very cool. So another anonymous question was submitted. This one is: are there any plans to add more achievements to the game?
Yeah, you're gonna see a whole new batch of achievements as part of the Necromancer pack. He'll have a full set of achievements, just like you'd expect for any other class.
Right. So those achievement hunters need to go and roll up a necro.
You gotta
Gotta do it.
There's so many good reasons to roll a necro.
And that's totally the same question. I did not rotate to the next one. Sorry about that. This is how you know it's live.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's live, because I'm messing up. So, how do the devs feel about the sets that vastly outperform others, such as Firebirds? What kind of changes can we look forward to regarding set balance, if any? So this one comes from Brogoth. I believe this one was on our forums.
So we, our philosophy in general for situations where maybe something is perceived as being too strong is that we don't want you to do something Thursday night and then log in Friday morning and be unable to do that same thing, like unable to clear the same Greater Rift level or something.
You never want to log in weaker.
Exactly. So we're very, very careful about making those kinds of changes to things that are perceived as too strong. So in this situation for 243, we've buffed some of the other sets for the classes, and the goal there is to sort of get play styles, get people able to sort of check out some of the play styles that they enjoy without feeling like it's completely
like that they're being way left behind.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So providing some more variety in gameplay.
Yeah, and that's something that we plan to continue monitoring, and these kinds of strategic changes are something that you could see more of in the future, potentially.
Very cool. Let's see. Let's make sure. Oh, I have left that up the entire time. We were talking about that one. Sorry, you didn't get to see us wildly gesturing
Still
about
live.
Class sets. Still live. We're still live. So our next one comes from Demian, and he asks, are there any plans to overhaul and improve the character skill system?
Yeah, so as a live game, the skill system is a sort of a foundational element of Diablo 3, and as a live game, we wouldn't make a change that affected such a fundamental element of the game. We wouldn't rebuild the skill system.
Right.
Beyond that, the way that the flexibility that the skill system affords in Diablo 3 allows us to make legendary items that have the wildly different and crazy powers that you see, and then when you see one of these legendaries, you can pick it up and try to make a build with it without being hamstrung by what the sorts of things that a more restrictive skill system might limit you to. So you can immediately try that out. You can come up with new builds, and that's part of why we were able to make things like Lawn.
Awesome. See. Here's our next one. Can we get a new transmog set for seasonal rewards? Asks Quaker Ninja.
Transmog sets are very cool. We are going to do new cosmetics for Season 9, so you can expect to see things much along the lines of what you saw in Season 8.
Right, so new portrait frames and a new cosmetic. And
yep, brand new cosmetic.
Very cool. Let's see. Our next one comes from, I believe this geeky Texas chick. Asks, can we get info as to the timeline for Season 8 ending and Season 9 starting? I know a lot of you guys want the answer to this question.
Yes. So we are going to announce more information about when Season 8 ends very soon.
Very soon.
We typically announce that in a blog post, so
Yes.
keep an eye out for that. And Season 9 is going to start shortly after Season 8 ends, and you can expect to see that somewhere around the release of patch 2.3.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Scroll down here a bit. We've got a bunch of questions. So our next one comes from Muzz, and he asks, will there be an alternative true endgame that can compete with Greater Rifts?
So to kind of get into the philosophy, sort of the background for this question a little bit, we see seasons as a way to continue to engage with the game over a long period of time, and we think that seasons really helps keep the game fresh by allowing you to play all the different classes, and with season journeys, the season journey and the changes to the season journey, you know, with the new sets and everything each season. So it is an end game.
Right.
Now, to answer your literal question, like for people who want to take the same character and make sure that character is as strong as they can get and max out all their legendary gems and cul-de-sacs and get Paragon up and everything, Greater Rifts are the place to do that. Right. They're a great place to do that, and they're serving that purpose.
Okay. And then, I mean, as we mentioned before, like for the really truly competitive people who want that even playing ground, you know, that's sort of the focus of Challenge Rifts coming in the future. So
yeah, they should look forward to Challenge Rifts coming out and being able to check them out. I don't think we mentioned it here, but as part of our announcement for Challenge Rifts, we do plan to see new Challenge Rifts on a regular basis. So you're going to be getting a new build to check out from a new player
fairly frequently
on a very regular basis.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for the question, Muzz. Let's see. Our next one comes from GBrev13. Are there any plans to lessen the dominance of the Archon skill for wizards?
Yeah, so we do think that Archon is a little bit too dominant in terms of the wide variety of wizard builds that utilize Archon. Del Sears doesn't use Archon in a lot of builds, and it recently got a buff in 2.4.3.
Yeah.
So check that out.
So sort of just increasing the variety of different things.
We're going to continue to look at this in ways that we can affect this.
Yeah, shake it up a bit. All right. Wow, we were really blowing through these. All right, our next one comes from Free. This one was from the forums. Why don't community managers and developers interact more with community members and posters? So I guess this is a question for both of us. But one of the things that we're doing right now, and I'm sure some of you have noticed, is that we're kind of experimenting with different ways of communicating with you that's just beyond making a forum post.
Yeah.
When you go and you make a forum post, a very small audience tends to see it, and we have a really huge community, and not all of it gets a chance to interact with one another or interact with our developers or interact with us. So we're trying different options. This live stream is one of them, and so if you're enjoying this live stream, please hit that hit those love buttons, show us some love, and
that's how we'll decide whether to do
that's
more.
That's totally how we'll decide whether we do more or not. But it does actually help us figure out whether or not that this platform is working for us.
Yeah.
We've used Twitch in the past, and we've seen some successes with that. We've used YouTube. So we're trying to see what really fits the community best and what also reaches the most people. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to go and abandon one form of communication or another, but it does mean that sometimes we spread ourselves a little bit thin trying to do all these different things. So it might get a little bit slow here or there, but we are here, we are listening, and even if we can't necessarily say something, we're doing our best to try to open that communication more now.
Yeah. I just want to add that we do, the developers do read the forums. I was here last night reading PTR forums, and we're actually gonna we're gonna do a couple of changes to some of the Greater Rift.
The Greater Rift.
We don't have a question
changes.
about this, but this is a great opportunity
To talk about it. Yeah.
and we've got some more. I've got some additional tweaks that will be coming up to PTR as a direct result of your guys' feedback. So thank you guys.
Those focused feedback threads too, those are super helpful for helping us like concentrate on specific issues and really get your feedback directly on what we're looking for in that moment. So thank you for everything you've sent in, because it's been really helpful. All right, I think we're actually down to the last one that we've gathered here.
Yeah.
So we blew through this really quickly. I guess I know next time to gather, like...
Next time we can take more questions.
Yeah, next time we can definitely take more questions. So this one's on a little bit more on the fun side. So seeing as we work for Blizzard and work on the Diablo team, what kinds of things does a Diablo team want for Christmas?
Yeah, so I can't speak for the whole team, of course.
Right.
But I did, before I came over here, I did take a poll of a couple other people in the same... who share an office with me, and let's see. I think Wyatt wanted some snow for Christmas.
Some snow in Irvine.
Down here in Irvine, but someone else immediately commented that they did not want snow in Irvine. So I don't know. I don't know which one is gonna win out. We'll see.
I like to think the odds are in my favor.
I think you might. Yeah.
You might just a little bit.
You might make it. One of the other people wanted to get butterfly wings.
Butterfly wings, right?
His galaxy wings.
The galaxy wings. Those are from Whimsydale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, I would love to get an ancient witching hour. That would be great.
Yeah. What build are you using
it's like
that?
my last.
What build are you using that for?
Unhallowed Essence.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that'll be in your stocking.
I'm hoping. I don't know how I'm going to get the belt in the
in the stocking.
Santa's going to get the belt in the stocking, but we'll see.
All right. Well, I want to take a moment to thank you guys for tuning in, and of course to thank you, Joe, for joining.
Yeah, of course. This kind of interaction is super important to us, and if you guys find it valuable, then let us know.
Yeah, let us know. We would love to be able to do more things like this, and to do, kind of explore some of these other platforms like I mentioned earlier. So thanks everybody for liking, sharing, and watching and hanging out with us today. I do want to say happy holidays to our community. We really hope that you have a wonderful rest of your year. And thank you for helping us celebrate this 20th anniversary of Diablo that we have.
Absolutely.
Coming up on the 31st. That is super exciting for everybody on the team. And the anniversary event will be going live shortly thereafter. So
yeah, we'll lock down all the changes, get everything good on PTR, and then
get it all nice and shiny and out to you guys so you can get your hands on it and go get some of those godly plates of the whale.
That's right. slay Diablo.
Yep, slay Diablo.
Get your soul stone.
Yeah, jam it in your forehead.
That's right.
All the good stuff. Celebrate in traditional Diablo fashion.
Yeah, it's gonna be a Diablo New Year.
For sure. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to head out for today, and just keep an eye on our channels for upcoming news, blogs, and stuff regarding Season 8, as well as Patch 243. And we will see you soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.